What's up guys, this is Bathe Bay, and today I'll be showing you how to make smothered pork chops. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, first you want to get your hands washed. You gotta make sure they're clean. You don't want to be cooking with dirty hands, so go ahead and get that dried off. Then you want to make sure your meat is clean. Definitely gotta wash off the pork chops. We got the thin sliced pork chops because it's only two of us, so we didn't want to eat too heavy today. So, all right, and I got the meat in a bowl, so we can go ahead and get that seasoned. I got a little bit of pepper, what I'm talking about. Then I got a little bit of chili powder. Then I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of roasted garlic, minced garlic, a little garlic powder, a little onion powder, and a little creole seasoning, just to give it that little kick. Alright, we're gonna get that all mixed up in there. Boom, boom. Okay, go ahead and hit it with a little bit of splash. Okay, a little bit of that garlic powder. A bit of that onion powder. Splash. And as you can see, I left a little seasoning in there. I'm gonna use that a little later. So let's go ahead and get that mixed up in the creases and crevices, as Miss Sopped Up would say. Make sure I wash my hands again. It's pretty sticky when you mixing that meat up. Let's go ahead and take care of that. As you can see, looking real nice, real seasoned. I'm gonna go ahead and put some bacon on. So I need to render that fat. So in the meantime, while that bacon cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and get my flour together for my pork chops. So of course, as you saw, I poured it in the bowl, added a little baking powder, just a tad bit. I ain't need a lot, so go ahead and add that seasoning that I had left over from the pork chops. Go ahead and get that flavored flour. Can't say that too many times fast. Flavored flour. Alright, as you can see, go ahead and whisk that up. Skirt. So that's already nice and whisked. Oh yeah. Okay, so my bacon is not quite ready, but it's still going. The fat is rendering pretty nicely. I just need that bacon grease. I'm just gonna make some good gravy. Alright, so it looks like my bacon is done. Let's go ahead and flip that over real quick before I take it out. Nice and crispy. Put that on the plate. Alright, so as you can see, we used the 3 pepper and onion blend. Usually we use fresh vegetable, but it's kind of chaotic in the stores right now, so we had to go the other route and get frozen vegetables. So let's go ahead and get those sauteed in that bacon grease that we were using. Give it a little flavor and stir that up some. Oh yeah. Alright, so once I'm gonna let that cook a little more, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get that taken out and plated, and then go ahead and get started on my gravy. Alright, let's go ahead and get this gravy started. So I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle a little splash of that flour in that bacon grease, and go ahead and keep that whisked up. You gotta keep it whisked so it'll help your consistency. And you definitely want to just make sure you're not putting too much flour in at one time, because it'll just come out way too thick, and you don't want that. But if you like your gravy thicker, hey, go for it. So you want to grab your chicken stock or beef, whatever you choose. We're going to go ahead and pour this in there, get some of that flour loosened up, because as you can see, it was a little clumpy. So let's go ahead and pour that in there. Hell yeah. keep whisking. Like I said, that's gonna be the key to your consistency right there. As you can see, I saw that it was getting a little too liquidy, so I added a little more flour, but always your preference. Alright, so I went on ahead and threw those vegetables in that gravy. Let that soak up for a minute. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get started on my pork chops. So using that flour that I had left, I added a little more flour to my bowl, but I don't know if I even needed it. Let's go ahead and coat that pork chop with that flour, and I'm gonna put it on my rack. Alright guys, I didn't need much grease, so I just want to make sure I get a little coloring on each side of the pork chops, because you know we're gonna cook it in that gravy for a little while too. So we're gonna go ahead and get those flipped over. As you can see, they're not cooked all the way through, but they are cooking. So let's go ahead and make sure they are nice and colorful. Go ahead and put those two in the gravy real quick. Let that simmer for a minute. Got my other two getting ready to go into that gravy. Usually we use a top, but you know how we do with this aluminum foil. Let it simmer for about 25 minutes and voila. There you go guys. Smothered pork chops.